Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my two obligatory informative videos are done for the day, and today they were my Q&As. They are over 20 minutes each. So if you guys wanted informative content, go check that out. But now we're going to talk about current events in the online fitness world. So let me put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit. Let's talk about this. All right, the last few of these have been roasting people. Today I'm not really going to roast anybody, but this is an important current event. It definitely involves the fitness world, definitely involves the online world. A lot of people are talking about it in my feed. And I had a subscriber ask a question about Eddie Hall now that he seems to be retiring, and that seems to be the case. Do I think he can undo the damage he's done to his health and his body through these years of competing in strongman? Which is a great question. So for the unaware, Eddie Hall just became the world's strongest man. He is the reigning champion. He holds the title. British-born guy. And apparently he's going to retire, and he's definitely bringing his body weight down. He's already said in an interview that carrying that sort of weight, that sort of size isn't comfortable. Guy eats 12,000 calories a day, and he's had enough of it. Enough of it. And he's going to leave the reigning champion. And you know, I think that's a smart move. I think that is a very smart move. And why do I say that? Well, number one, sports like this destroy your health. All right, strongman is possibly almost as bad for you as pro bodybuilding. We can argue about it all day as to which one's worse for you all day long. It's at least close. It's at least close to as bad. And no person who cares about their health even remotely would ever compete in pro bodybuilding. Like, if you care about your health and fitness, you wouldn't go near it with a 10-foot pole. I go so far as to say strongman is the same thing. Now, is it impressive? Yes. Is he an amazing, impressive athlete? Absolutely 100%. But the thing is, he knows that what he's doing is unhealthy. He's basically said that. He's going to back out, and he's going to leave as the reigning champion. All right, the very last time he competes, he wins the world's strongest man, walks out, ranks #1 in the world. That's not a bad way to end a career. Not a bad way at all. Now, people would say, well, what's so bad about it? Well, the fact that the guy's over 400 pounds, being over 400 pounds, I don't care how conditioned you are, and these guys have a lot of conditioning, and I think that's what a lot of people don't get. These strongman competitors are very conditioned athletes. For their body weight, the amount of endurance and conditioning they have is usually insane. It's all the GPP work and stuff they do. And they get to that body weight by eating an insane amount of calories and putting an insane amount of drugs into their body. Only way it's possible. But their conditioning is fantastic. But, like he's saying, 12,000 calories a day. That's what he's been eating. 12,000 calories. That's what he admitted in an interview. Now, some people would say, well, that sounds crazy. That's as crazy as, what's his name? Michael Phelps. Claiming he was eating whatever amount. No, it really isn't, because the difference is when you're 400 pounds, and you train for several hours a day, yeah, your food intake is going to have to be mind-boggling insane. 12,000 calories doesn't even sound unbelievable or unreasonable. These guys do tons of weightlifting. The guy deadlifts over 1,000 pounds. They do tons of GPP work, endurance work, everything else. And when you're doing that, weighing 400 pounds to maintain that body weight, having a caloric need of 10,000 plus calories, yeah, it actually makes sense. And particularly if you start looking at the caloric intakes of stuff like gorillas and stuff, who also are in a similar weight range, you start looking at what some of them eat, they actually eat quite a bit more than that. So, yeah, it's totally believable. But 12,000 calories alone, without even getting into the body weight end of it, consuming that many calories every day is going to be horrific for your GI tract. That's going to put a strain on your organs. That's going to put a strain on your kidneys, your liver, a lot of stuff in your body just to go through that much food every day. All right. You combine that with the fact that the impact it has on your knees, your joints, your hips, in addition to all the ultra heavy training, because it's one thing to get strong enough to, squat 300 pounds, maybe 400 pounds for some reps. That could still be fitness. But these guys are loading their bodies up with mind-boggling amounts of weight on a regular basis. All of the axial loading, all the weight on their knees, and then the fact he's carrying all that weight with it. Yeah, that's really tough on your body. Really tough on your body. All the food, all the body weight, and then we've got the drug components. How many drugs do you think these guys take? To compete in the world's strongest man contest, I mean, again, you guys look at what certain people have been taking on the internet. Do you honestly think there's anybody up there competing in this who only takes a couple grams of gear a week? You really think there's anybody up there doing that? I doubt it. I doubt it very seriously. When you consider that I've known plenty of power lifters who are nowhere near 300 pounds, and these guys are topping 400 pounds. I know power lifters who are in the 200s who I've known plenty of them who use 3 or 4 grams of gear. Easily. So yeah, the amount of drugs these people are probably putting into their body, the amount of drugs he's got to put in his body to get there, that's got to take a toll. And people say, well, it's only for a few years. He only probably did this for a decade. You can do a lot of damage to your body in a decade. You can do a lot of damage to your knees. You can do a lot of damage to your liver, to your organs, to your heart in a decade. All right, it can be done. It can be done very, very easily. So yeah, I mean, it takes a tremendous toll. Tremendous toll. And I think it's smart for him to get out now. And that's not intended as disrespect, because what he's done is phenomenal. What he's done is phenomenal. He definitely holds some records in his sport. He's been ranked the world's strongest man now. That is not a minor achievement at all. And you can't make light of that. It's like you can't make light of his body weight or the amount of weights that he lifts. All right, there's nothing light about any of that. So the interesting thing about Eddie, weightlifting and strongman wasn't his first sport. And what's also interesting, he plans on going back and trying to get into the Olympics. Now, if he can pull that off after this, I don't know if he can or not. We'll wait and see. But you know what? The guy has the tenacity to be the world's strongest man. He was already nationally ranked very, very well in a sport as a teenager, which was swimming, and was planning on going to the Olympics, but he dropped out because he hated the coach and got into weightlifting instead. He says he wants to go on to compete in the Olympics as a swimmer. Now, is that going to be the healthiest thing? Maybe not, because again, there's going to be drugs involved. There's going to be a lot of wear and tear on his body. But you know what? Swimming is a very low impact sport, so he's probably not going to have joint problems. He's not going to have to use anywhere near the drugs or whatever he's using now. Not even a tiny fraction of it. Probably not even a tenth of what he uses now to be a strongman will be needed for something like that. He's already got this big strength base built. He can do tons and tons of cardio and go ahead and slim down. What's going to be interesting, though, I think, for a lot of people, if he pulls this off, can you guys imagine Eddie Hall being under 200 pounds? Because that's what he's going to have to do to compete in swimming. So you got this 420-pound behemoth whose strength is mind-boggling, to say the least, is going to drop down to a svelte swimmer's body, looking like Michael Phelps. That's going to be an interesting transformation, I think, just to see that happen, because he seems serious about it. That's what the rumor is that he is going to take this as a very serious endeavor. He's actually giving it a go. He's going to jump in and try to compete in swimming again while he's still young enough. Because what's the guy, like 29 right now? Is he 29? He's not that old. What year was he born? I think he was born in 88. So yeah, he's in his late 20s. He's under 30. You know what? He still has a chance. He's probably got a lot of conditioning. He's previously been an endurance athlete and a swimmer. You know what? He damn well might be able to pull it off. We're going to have to wait and see. Let's see what he does, because again, he already has the background in the sport. He's already proven himself as a tremendous work ethic as an athlete. Hell, I'm kind of interested to see if he can pull it off. But I do think what's going to be the most interesting part of that is, again, people have this vision of Eddie Hall now as 400 and something pounds, 6'3", like 420, dropping down to a sub 200 pound swimmer. Again, be a sight to see. Be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I think about that, other than it'll be interesting to see it happen. And again, I think if he pulls this off, and I bet you if he does nothing but endurance work for the next year, drops his food intake to a reasonable amount, he could probably get down to the body weight he needs to be a swimmer, build his endurance up, and give it a go. But I think that's going to be a mind-bogglingly shocking transformation if he pulls it off. And I think that's going to be again, I'm kind of something that's going to blow people's minds a little bit if he does this, because he's going to go from looking like Eddie Hall to a Michael Phelps physique. Who knows? Let's wait and see what happens with it. But is he making the right choice? Yeah. Is he caused irreversible damage to his body? He may have. He might have long-term health effects already and problems from what he's done already. But will he be able to successfully pull off the swimming? Maybe, and I guess it's going to really depend on if his heart has survived whatever he's done to it with all of this. And if it has, and if it's in okay shape, he might be able to pull it off. Let's wait and see. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.